me, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jaden. We're gonna tap step, call it Tap Express. If you like it at the end of the show, please don't be afraid to clap your hands.
My name is Alexander Puchov. I'm a dancer, and I believe I have the best job in the world. I travel around the planet in search of musical places of interest, trying to investigate the sources of rhythm. And this city seems the very right place to start that quest.
If you want to make any donations, please feel free. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Any donation they want to say. Thank you all for listening. How did I start tapping on the train? I get hungry a lot. I didn't have that much money when I was in high school, so I would go to like basketball practice, and after practice I would want something to eat, so I'll grab my tap shoes, run to the train, and tap for about an hour or two.
6 years ago, an ordinary guy from Harlem, Joshua Johnson, came to the big stage. A subway train from the 42nd Street to Penn Station.
And so when I first started though, I was really, really scared. I was a good tap dancer, but at the same time,
Care about the audience?
Yeah, you know, it's like in New York, it's a lot of people and everybody's kind of aggressive, and it's like if you're not good, they're gonna tell you you're not good. So you know, you gotta be really
but you're good, so you don't have to be afraid about that.
Super scared. So I remember when I first got on the train, I made my announcement, and it's like I forgot my own name. I was so scared, you know. But then I said, I'm gonna shut up and just dance, and I started dancing. Everybody loved my dancing, so I was confident in my dance.
Soon after, the New York Times published a feature about Joshua. He was invited to a popular dance TV show. The audience collected the money he needed, and he became a local legend and proved the saying that all New York is a huge stage.
Most people are afraid, you know, you're afraid, you gotta acknowledgements, shout outs, what's ups, all that's good.
And if New York is a stage, then Harlem is a noisy art college dorm.
That's the Apollo Theater, man. A lot of people start their whole dance career or their whole musician career from the Apollo. You know, they kind of try to get the approval of New York City fans. You know, they say if you can make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, so it's like...
Most tap dancers and jazzmen come from Harlem. Over the last 100 years, every Wednesday, the Apollo Theater has housed auditions for street talent. Anyone who can stay in time can get a ticket to the big show.
This is Joe Gray from the Apollo Theater.
Yeah, I'm head with the Apollo Theater.
Yeah, I was just showing him how I used to do.
Yeah, I mean, just call him Foots.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. He's just be tapping all the time. What's up, Foots? You know? So he's come a long way. I watched his story on Facebook, and I'm just proud of him.
Yeah.
The progress that he's made, his determination, especially going to school and doing what he has to do. A lot of kids should just take an example out of him. He's maybe like 16, 17 in that area like that.
Joe Gray.
Yo, man. Get the A6. Get the new one. Get the new one. That's out of date right now. Get the new one. Step your game up. Take care.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Joshua's story made us believe in the American dream.
So here we are. This is your first stage.
Yep. This is where I learned how to choreograph a lot of my stuff. So.
Tell me, I'll tell you the truth.
Okay.
I don't believe that it's possible to learn something in step.
You could definitely learn a couple of steps. Let's go over some basic steps. All right.
Yeah,
the first step I learned was a shuffle.
Shuffle.
2 sounds, right?
Yeah.
You only use the front part of your shoe. It's 2 sounds, and you just kick into the floor and kick back. Right. Just like that. Yeah, that's a shuffle. That's a pretty clean shuffle too. So try it on your left side. Yeah, man. So when you get good, you could just add it both to the left and right, like, and left side.
I decided to go to the New York streets and try to beat its rhythm my way. But in order to pass the exam before the toughest jury in the world, New Yorkers, I really have to practice a lot.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, step. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. 1, 2, 3, step. 1, step. 1, step.
I do know this Russian thing's
good, man. You can learn tap. You can be a good tap dancer. I believe it. I'm so serious. Let's try one time.
Tell me, what is the most important for tap dancer?
The most important part is staying in time. Yeah. So because I think tap dancing is one of the greatest art forms because it's not only how you look on stage, it's how you sound on stage.
Yeah, right.
You know, tap dancing.
It's closer to musician.
Yeah, you're a musician and a dancer. That's why it's called tap dancing. So if I go to a club and music is playing and I'm a tap dancer and I say I want to tap, you know, one of the most important things about tap dancing is in knowing where to come in, knowing where to stop.
Okay, thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
See you.
All right, brother.
The world champions in Irish dance and ex-principals of the famous show Riverdance. Jason and Garrett are ideal companions for my plan.
It's like 90s in Russia, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of old-fashioned a little bit. You get your Chinese massages, typical Chinatown.
Their dance company, Hammerstep, is known for the modern variety of tap dancing and street performances. I would like to join one of them. I just have to pick the place.
5 Points neighborhood, historic neighborhood, the meeting place of 5 different blocks where they all converge. And it used to be predominantly Irish neighborhood. Now it's Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Changed a lot,
Yeah, but a lot of it's the same. I mean, the same buildings and stuff like that. Really. Yeah, let's face it. It does hold the culture. When they first kind of got together, the Irish and African, the squalor of Lower Manhattan, I guess it was.
Yeah. So they rough area.
5 Points is the oldest slum in the United States. This is where the events of the Gangs of New York took place. And this is where American Tap Dance was born, an ideal place for our performance.
It looks a lot different to probably how it used to look.
Yeah, but it was a blocks here. I mean, like it was a...
Yeah, this is where they used to, I guess this is sort of the first place that Irish and tap came together. I guess you could get dance halls and clubs and the African shuffle and the Irish dancing, I guess, meeting for some of the first times. And I guess it's what sparked the evolution into...
Jason and Garrett are the descendants of the first Irish settlers. Our dance will tell a story of 5 Points and American Tap.
Can you show me, like, can you show me, guys, like one Irish movement and one American Tap movement to understand how it...
Yeah, sure. So Garrett, you want to demonstrate a bit of an Irish series of trebles and stamps?
Yeah, so the Irish style is very precise.
Yeah.
Rigid.
Right. So. And the trebles in front of one another. And the stamping, and always feet turned out. Yeah. And there was, there you go. You get it, good.
Okay.
And see, with the Irish, there's like more discipline and structure because they would dance in the sets together in squares and in lines back and forth.
The arms would usually.
Yeah.
Now with tap,
Yeah,
exactly, like a very strong rigid. And in tap, it's not like that at all. You know, they have much more looser structure. And if I was to do the same movements in tap, do some trebles, you might do beat treble and treble and treble and treble and treble and stamp and stamp. Get down on it with the knees a lot. Exactly. You already know these moves.
Emancipated from slavery, but penniless and jobless, African Americans watched their Irish neighbors, equally hungry and penniless, tapping in pubs to traditional reels and jigs. They started repeating those simple moves their own way.
We'd like to mix Irish dancing, tap dancing, and body percussion as well. Exactly.
I will tell you, it came from Russia.
Yeah, right.
Has some roots there, for sure.
Right, exactly.
I do know that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, nice.
Actually, Juba dance looked almost exactly like this. It influenced early tap dancers at 5 Points. It came to New York when Afros arrived from southern slave states.
When the Africans were in the mines with the slaves and the slave traders and
subverting the authority.
Right,
Yeah.
and they're in the mines and they wanted to try to communicate and try to keep themselves sane in the mines, and they would dance and their feet would be chained and they would be in their gumboots. So they would dance and they would hit their gumboots low, and they would do like rhythms down low and tell stories through this dance, and they would loop the rhythms. We can show you a rhythm. You want to?
Yeah.
We're going to show it
Let's
to
do
you.
that.
You're quick. You're going to get it straight away. So we're going to go 1, 2, down, clap, down, hit, down. So let's start it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hoo. Hoo. There he is. And we get right down low on it because they were chained up and they couldn't bend any higher, and they had to use any rhythms they could off their gumboots. Nice one, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Okay.
We're going to bring you back to America. You're going to dance with us soon.
Okay.
What was so amazing about those Afro moves? I'm heading off to the Bronx to find it out. Here, as they say, everyone wears a New York Yankees ball cap and carries a gun instead of a cell phone. Locals are acclaimed champions in hip-hop and chest thumping. This is an ordinary high school. This is an ordinary high school. Future Michael Jacksons, Ushers, and Beyoncés are fiercely slapping themselves and tapping the rhythm. Juba, a slave dance, has turned into modern tap. Among other local moves, like breakdance and hip-hop, tap has made its way to American television. For these kids, dancing is the easiest way to showbiz.
Let's stop right there.
Hey, Ed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it. We get tough. So they would kind of like sign language.
Yeah.
And what happened was eventually the slave masters caught on to it. And instead of killing them, they did what you would call battles.
Yeah.
They would go, okay, I have my slaves. You have your slaves over here. Let's see whose slaves can do it better.
American universities adopted this tradition from the plantation owners of the South. Students from various colleges started to form gangs and compete for trophies. It took 100 years for tap dance to come to the streets of the Bronx.
Oh man, in the 70s and the 80s in the Bronx was very, ooh.
But this dancing
Man.
could help you to
because it was
to be
it was
respected.
dangerous. It was quote unquote dangerous, right?
Yeah, right.
But when hip hop came along in the 70s and breaking came in the late 70s and early 80s, it gave the youth of that time, which I was young, an outlet to let out frustration, to show their talent, to stay off the streets. Because at that time, people were getting robbed and stuff like that. So they would, instead of being a gang, they would have crews.
This school dance troupe players started in the subway. Straight from the underground, they came to a popular talent show. Right after that, their career went into overdrive. They have toured with Alicia Keys and performed at ball arenas. Once they even danced at the White House lawn for President Clinton.
So we're gonna start.
Everybody,
right?
step back
Yeah,
for
we're
a
gonna
minute.
go one. So just good. Now you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Good. Now you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. You're learning this really fast.
Everybody got that?
Yes.
Bop, bop, bop. You're gonna go stop, hit, stop, hit, stop.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. No. Okay. It looks simple, but it's not. Yeah, it's really difficult, but I'm sure you can get it. It takes a lot of practice. You got this, man.
First you get the rhythm, then you get the spirit, and it starts to look like a dance.
Wait a second. I need to scream before. What did you scream?
Battle cry.
It's New York. It's New York in the house.
There you go. You gotta be enthusiastic, like, it's New York in the house. You gotta build it up. You gotta build it up so you can jump like that.
Well, it's definitely not a piece of cake. We didn't do that at school, so I feel a bit envious.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you? You know American tap, man? You know some steps? You know the steps? Whatever.
Spider-Man and Hulk don't know a thing about it. They've never heard of American Tap. Come on, let's keep going.
Look, is it okay or not? Is it American tap, okay? Look. That's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool? You know where I can buy shoes?
Never.
Yeah.
Because
okay, anyway.
it's a special shoes.
Thank you very much. For freedom.
Freedom, buddy.
Yeah, man.
On Times Square, you can get anything for your money. Broadway musical is the first thing to come to my mind when it comes to tap dance. There are so many posters around that it makes me dizzy, but there is no single poster saying tap dance. Did it go out of fashion? To find the answer, I'm going to ask this question to Tony Wag, the founding father of American Tap Dance Foundation. I am an American tap dancer.
Yeah, right.
And a dance historian as well.
So why this, like this kind of image of tap dancer, like in a tuxedo?
And all the famous black people that performed in Hollywood had to play chauffeurs and cleaning people, and the Broadway, something of 1928. And he was known as the mayor of Harlem because he died with no money.
The story of tap illustrates the history of segregation and anti-racism. In early Hollywood era, only white dancers could tap on screen, but black tappers always dubbed the sound. In southern states, the scenes with African Americans were cut out. The popular genre, tap dance duo, emerged only because the blacks were not allowed to dance solo.
Brother Maurice and then Savion ended up doing these productions on Broadway that were much more rhythm tap based. So then I think the show tap had to kind of rise to that level, and the rhythm tap of the arts, let alone dance, and then tap dance is kind of down below dance, and then dance is below the theater and the arts.
Well, unfortunately, I was right. Broadway tap is dead, but I'm still alive. Soon I will have to perform on the streets of New York. It's time to train.
All right, so here we go. Can you show me the history of tap in steps?
History of tap in steps. Built into, it came out of jazz. So if you're going to go speak with some swing dancers, we're going to probably talk a little bit the same language.
But for
like
example,
the Shorty George.
Oh yeah.
You know, the boogie back. Right. Even the Charleston and things like that are part of all of it. You know, it's all related.
When jazz appeared, tap became a social dance. Those who tap for tap's sake were called hoofers.
Even more Broadway-ish, because you got an audience, right? So you're like doing something for them. Then it went into the jazz clubs, and it was more for yourself. Right? So you kind of started playing the floor. Instead of this, became down here.
Yeah, right.
You know? Okay, Alex, so you can stay.
Yeah.
But I got to get my students in here. We're going to do a rehearsal. You can
follow.
Yeah, you
I
can
will
follow
try.
along.
I will try. Okay.
Let me get.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Let me get them. Hey, you guys, you can come in now.
I do not know why Broadway producers think that tap dance is no longer popular. Tony says that he has never had so many students as today. He even decided to stage an amateur performance with them.
Separate the sounds. Ba da ba do, ba da ba do. Yeah. Let's do two hills.
I don't hear when I'm dancing. It's way too loud. I'm just tapping random patterns. I was so desperate only once in Ireland when I visited a school for young champions. What makes it more shameful, they are beginners, a complete failure. I need to sit for a while, nurse my sore legs. I can't do this any longer.
Yeah.
From the big venues of Times Square, tap dance went underground. Today, this club Smalls is the only tiny place where hoofers get together. Hoofers call this dance rhythm tap. They don't like Broadway style, they call it a show-off. Here, the most important thing is how you sound. People come to Smalls to listen to tap rather than see a show. Tap dance in the USA is in dire straits, while in Asia and Europe is getting more popular. The dancers here are not older than 30. This young generation of hoofers mixes traditions and rhythms just like the immigrants at 5 Points did more than a century ago. This is the real dance globalization. Michaela Marino hosts these events. She was a student of the step legend Buster Brown. She has toured around the globe with her workshops. Now she gathers her friends from international dancing community at weekly jam sessions.
Bye. Thank you very much for show. Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah. So how does it work? I mean, if you come there, you already know what music it's gonna be, or?
Yes, it was an improvisation.
Like, you know, people start step.
Yeah.
And
pure improvisation. So the
dancers suggest a tune, and the musicians start playing. A jam session begins.
But sometimes, you know, I don't know if follow the dancer.
It happens both ways. It can happen one way or another.
Things are happening always.
Like a dialogue.
Yes, this is like a conversation.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. There are not a lot of...
I studied myself at the jazz jam sessions. We used to have many places like that. There's only one left. I feel really sorry because this jazz improvisation is a step dance. The roots are there. I don't really know why.
I don't really know what the reason is.
The musicians follow the rhythms tapped by the dancers. Their feet serve as musical instruments in the band. One cannot separate the music from dance. At some point, the dancer starts to direct the band like a conductor. At the end, all the participants of the jam session dance together. Seeing what they are doing with their feet, I feel like a one-legged wreck. I don't even dare to join them, and I slip out. There's not much time left before the show, and I'm going to the biggest gym in the city, Central Park.
Hi, man. How are you? So, if I'm not... Yeah? Okay. Do you have a joke about dance or tap or something, pop or something like that?
Yeah.
No. A joke about bad dancer?
I don't.
No?
I've never written a joke about it.
Okay. Okay, so give me another one.
All right. This one is a little tricky. Who she was, her only picture is a picture of her eye.
Uh-huh.
But I could tell you. But this is how I'm...
I didn't figure that out, but gave him a giggle as a piece of charity. If you really want that joke, come for it. The guy said he would be there.
Okay. Okay.
That one's crude.
So if nobody is afraid of looking silly in Central Park, then I have nothing to fear too. Well, Mama, I'm coming home. I really don't know how I'm going to perform. Maybe I could charge $1 from an idler who has never seen a better dancer, but he better be blind. In the last 2 weeks, I've been to Broadway, Harlem, the Bronx, basically all around New York. The most interesting things happen in basements with no sign outside, like home parties in Queens. You've got to know the right places.
I'm fine. Alexander.
Hi, how are you?
Do I have any list? Yeah, I can get.
Yeah. Yes, come in.
Hello, how are you? It's you. How are you? I'm Alexander.
A few minutes to come on in, relax.
Okay. Thank you. I do. I probably don't even know.
Like Michela Marino, Benjamin was taught by old-school hoofers. His style is also based on jazz improvisation, but he likes to experiment with the sound, very much like what Hammerstep do, the guys I'm going to gig with.
So thank you guys, everybody, for coming. So we do a mix of, obviously, rap and tap and electronic music and reggae and hip-hop and rock. So hey yo, listen, I'm spitting, it's Benjamin Hatton. I'm saying, tell me what's happening down in your hood where you at. And you say, come spit on my song, give me some rhymes with your tongue. Man, I've been waiting so long to find the place I belong. I just...
Ben sings about everything: first dates, world peace, environmental issues, even the Holy Temple of Jerusalem. It may sound a bit naive, though it doesn't sound sillier than Bob Marley or Ben's classmate friend Matisyahu.
I said, take me back to Jerusalem on the wings of the...
But the rhythms he uses to emphasize the most emotional moments are absolutely modern. They use an ideal mix of rap, reggae, lyrical pop, and jazz with a sprinkling of saxophone. I'm becoming more and more sure that tap dance will never go out of fashion.
Thanks, everybody. We got Nico. Beautiful Maria Soul.
All of a sudden, here, at a small apartment, I felt like I heard the heart of New York beating. To be honest, I didn't feel anything like that at Times Square. And that beat blew my fear to pieces.
Thank you, Maria Soul, Carmela King, Jay Dupre, Alex. Thank you guys, we're done that song. Thank you.
I want to thank you. Thank you for sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
It was
coming out.
really amazing.
Thank you.
Really amazing.
Thank you.
How it started.
So I was tap dancing since age 10, and then I started to rap when I was like 14 years old, 15 years old, around, and really trying to bring a consciousness to the lyrics, so that it's not about, being misogynistic, it's not about violence, it's not about drugs, it's about...
Like, can you beatbox and tap in the same time?
I could beatbox and tap at the same time.
Yeah?
I write the lyrics and I pump up the notes. I make the rhythms with my heels and with my toes. But I need the melody from the strumming and from the keys. But I can talk for us, but that piano pretend. Please, I get down on my knees to let you...
It looks like each hoofer has an internal DJ board which he can use to mix multiple tracks in real time.
The music saved me from the fire and the stone. The music saved me from the earth and from the sky.
It does not matter whether you are beatboxing, rapping, or tap dancing. It's about that rhythm.
Thank you very much.
Business or pleasure? We're making a movie about tap dance. Chichotka. Chichotka. I understand now. The taxi driver seems to know it all. He has seen it many times. First you shoot a documentary, then you wash dishes or work as a shop assistant, and then you go where the American dream takes you. In 1991, Gorbachev betrayed the country, surrendered to the Americans. Since then, everything keeps falling apart. I'm going to Brighton, where former Soviets live. I've seen this kind of America in movies about Russian immigrants. This song is called Where Is My Only Home? The first time I heard it was when I was a little kid. Since I can't handle American tap properly, the only thing I can do is to try the Russian tap variety, Chichotka. The main expert in Russian tap has been living in the States for 15 years. Vasily? You're Alexander, right? Welcome to Brighton. Nice to meet you. Shall we go? Yes, let's go. Vasily Mishlitsov is a legend of Russian tap dance, the champion of Russia, the United States, and the world. He immigrated to the States in 1998. He didn't win his green card in the lottery, he received it as an outstanding dancer. Look, here is a fortune teller. You can ask if you're going to be famous tap dancer. Why not? You'd better check it out.
Psychic reading.
Oh, yeah, give it one. Give it to him. Yeah.
Psychic reading.
Thank you very much. Next time, okay?
Fortune telling proves to be a good business in Brighton. No immigrant knows what his future looks like. Hey, hello! How are you? How have you been? They're filming you. Have you noticed? Really? Hi, guys. How are you? Alexander? Hi, Alexander. He came from Moscow. He came here to learn how to tap dance. Here is the man who will teach you. If you want to learn to juggle, just ask me. Good luck. See ya. See you. Vasily came to New York to take part in a national dance competition and stayed here forever. As an immigrant, he used to work everywhere he could. Clubs, restaurants, cabarets. By the way, here is National Restaurant. It is a typical Russian place. Showgirls, cabaret, troika, balalaika, all the stuff. Did you work here? Yes, of course I did. Maybe you will work here as well. Why not? Let's dance.
She gave me $20. She made me cry. But when a woman drinks your whiskey, you gotta pay the bill. Don't touch that thing no more. And I got me little girl, I'm turn man. Don't touch your hoochie coochie baby, lying all alone in your bed. Rock and roll.
It's like an upscale resort. You go out, put on your swimming briefs, and off to the sea. Do your morning exercises. This is our little Odessa. Vasily was lucky. He was right on time to see the old masters, and then he witnessed the fall of the Broadway tap era. The last big show closed down 10 years ago. There is no more work for tap dancers in New York. And yet, there was a financial crisis. He had to remember his first profession. He graduated from the circus school in Moscow. Many clubs and restaurants closed down. For instance, now I work for an entertainment company. I make suits and I stage sets for them. The guys I work with are circus actors just like me. And what is more, I can work with my hands. It's not difficult to find a job. Maybe you'll show me some tricks? Sure, come on, let's go to the theater. They are waiting for us. There's a proper stage and light and stuff. Come on.
Каким ты был? Дурак ты был, дураком и остался. Ой, казак ляхом.
Here we are. This is it. Look at the posters. Everyone has performed here. Everyone includes Willy Tokarev, Kristina Abrakaite, and Yefim Shifrin. Fallen Russian stars are still popular among locals. Everyone knows Millennium Theater. This is the unofficial Russian embassy in Brighton. Here we are. This is the stage. Have you performed here? Yes, many times. I'm a versatile actor. I hosted circus shows, performed on stage as a tap dancer. I even acted as a bear. What did you start from as a tap dancer? Show me the basics. If we talk about the origins of step, everything came from Russia. Really? From Odessa? Yes, from Odessa, long time ago. Most likely, Russian tap tradition was started by sailors. Do you remember Yablочко? I knew that. That's how tap dance caught me. What was the source of your inspiration in the Soviet Union? Honestly, I was inspired by Fred Astaire, the Nicholas brothers, Gene Kelly, the golden age of Hollywood. There was no YouTube at that time. However, if you pulled some strings once a month, you could get a dusty film spool with a banned movie on it. Circus schools organized closed screenings of Hollywood classics for their students. That's where Vasily first saw American tap. When I came here, I was sure that the Nicholas brothers had passed away long ago. It was 1941 when they showed those amazing tricks in Sun Valley Serenade. When I came to the States, I told someone that they might have passed away, and they said, no, they're alive. And in a week, I got to the show that both brothers attended. One performed on stage, the other was watching, because he had an issue with his knee. And then we worked together. We went on tour to Philadelphia, performed in the Lincoln Center with the Nicholas brothers. It was fantastic. Soviet School of Tap Dance was at its height. The Nicholas brothers and their colleagues had to admit that as they saw Vasily in action. However, young American dancers don't impress them much. Tap is a dance, and like any dance, it's not about feet only. You also need hands and emotions. I'm slightly disappointed. While performing, dancers often look at their shoes. There's no choreography, no idea. This is what I feel. You are just a beginner, right? But you can make such a show which would correspond to your level and look good. You can think of something exciting. Use a catchy tune, come with an idea, choose the form, and you'll make an impression as a professional. This is what I needed to hear right before a street performance with tap dancers. So, let's dance, Yablочко.
Яблочко, куда ж ты катишься? Ям, там, 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 там. Вот это русские истоки. И на там, 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 не воротишься. Молодец.
Thank you. Thank you. You are a good teacher. Must be in our blood. Would you be willing to show me your favorite dance? For me, it's Fred Astaire's famous dance, the one where he juggles the stick. I can perform this. I really like both the rhythm and the image. Sure. This one is my favorite. Can you show it for me? I'll go and watch it from there. Fine. Today, I'm the only one watching the show. But one day, I'm pretty sure about it, tap dance will find its way back to big venues. Vasily, young hoofers from the small club, Tony Wag, and his students. Each of them could make a show which could please Fred Astaire. I'm starting to feel like I have a new big family. The blue water, the blue skies, it feels like my hometown. I'm now crossing East River as if it were Rubicon. There's no way back. I'm going to the place where it all started, to 5 Points. The Supreme Court now stands where the gangs of New York used to fight. The skyscrapers have now replaced slums. Irish, African Americans, Jews, Chinese, Japanese, Russians, they all come to this city looking for happiness and then fight for a place in the sun. They shoot each other in the Bronx, they sing in Central Park, play basketball in Harlem, whoop it up in Chinatown, shove each other in the subway and honk on the Brooklyn Bridge. They work together to create the buzz, which is the rhythm of New York. You just have to listen.
Okay, guys, let's do that.